good start. Okay, hi, I'm Steve. You know me, we're friends. Speaking of the Holocaust, who likes Disney movies? Hey! I like Disney movies, but I have issues with Cinderella. Cinderella's a great story, like it deals with issues like class and sexism and domestic abuse. But every version I've ever seen always glosses over this one part of it, and it always bugs me. And that if I'd written Cinderella, it wouldn't even have been called Cinderella. It would have been called Mice Get Turned Into Horses! Featuring Cinderella. But have all the same beats. It would be like, oh my god, you get to go to the ball, Cinderella, and you look so beautiful. Oh, you might get to dance with the prince. Also, what once was mouse, suddenly horse! I'm so full of questions, man. Like, do they have the same age? Do they have the same lifespan? Like, do you still like cheese? What's happening? Are they the same gender? Is it a male mouse that's now a female horse, or vice versa? What if it was a transgender mouse, which is entirely possible, because we're animals and they're gay animals, so that could be a transgender mouse. So now you have a mouse that was born a male mouse, that gender identifies as a female mouse, trapped in the body of a female horse! But you know, have a good time with the party, Cinderella. Be sure to leave by midnight in case any more staggering shit happens. You know, she's a nice girl, but her priorities are fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's my way of telling you that I'm an uncle now! I'm Uncle Steve. I've always wanted to be Uncle Steve. I'm uncle to a beautiful 1-year-old baby niece. She is objectively cute. Thank you very much. All your pugly nieces can do one! Proud work. But I love being an uncle because I have just the right amount of responsibility as an uncle. Basically, fucking none at all. like I have to go pretty far off the reservation to ruin my niece's life. Being an uncle's like being Barack Obama. I can't make anything better or worse because no one will let me. But now my entire family is obsessed with this little girl, and we are so over my sister. Like, she was like the firstborn, high flyer, great job, first to get married, and then she gives us this little gift, and we're like, that's great, Sarah. Now go make more! But I want to be the one who shows my niece all the Disney films. That's what I want my job to be as Uncle Steve. Okay, but we got to do it right. I'm a purist. It has to be 2D, then 3D, then live action. Has anybody seen Maleficent here with Angelina Jolie?
Yeah.
Right, she plays the villain from the Disney film Sleeping Beauty, but they did a revisionist version. It's still Disney, but they made it so that instead of being the villain, it turns out that she's a misunderstood hero, which I love because it means that the original Sleeping Beauty is a lie. Like a conspiracy. Like an alternative facts version of Sleeping Beauty. Hashtag not my Maleficent. I'm gonna get my little niece and I'm gonna sit her down and I'm gonna get her to watch Sleeping Beauty first because it's 2D, you gotta do it right. And then I'm gonna take her aside and I'm gonna go, hey, what'd you think of that? Did you like that? It was good, right? What'd you think of Maleficent, the villain? You thought she was pretty evil, right? You're living in a dream world! It was the king! He cut off her wings! It's a metaphor for patriarchal abuse! You idiot! The dragon was a false flag! Wake up! Now go to sleep, honey. Uncle Steve loves you. Aww. I do. I love my niece so much. She's the new member of the family. I'm the baby of my family, so this is the first time we've had a new member of the immediate family, and she wasn't here one day, and then she was here the next day, and I love her immediately. Isn't that crazy? It's great. It's awesome. But it also means that if she rejects me, it fucking sucks. Has anybody ever felt rejected by a baby they love? It's the worst. Like, we were hanging out over Christmas, and my niece basically cottoned on to the fact that if I was in the room, it meant that her mother was taking a break. And right now, she's all about mummy. So one day, I poked my head through the door, and she's in her little high chair, and she just saw me, just clapped eyes on me, and I went, no! Like, she's won! She barely has any comprehension of what she wants, let alone what she needs, but she knows that she doesn't want this bullshit. She's like, I just shat myself and I don't know what the Magna Carta is, but I need this guy gone. I'm gonna make sure he never works in this town again. And I said, no one's gonna stop me working in this town! And I stormed off, and she was unattended. What's next? Oh, alcoholism. Yes, yes. You know what, like product placement in movies, in American movies? People spend billions, millions on this, and they have lobbyists and they have meetings and they work out to make sure that the label's facing just towards the camera, and you need to make sure, and people spend a lot of money on it. Jack Daniels doesn't seem to have a problem that it is the cinematic shorthand for a ruined life. Like every time you see a Jack Daniels in a film, it's somebody who's just like lost everything. It all up. Like yeah, cheers. Anyone drinking Jack tonight? Yes, this is all crowd work. It's good. But I think the adverts for Jack Daniels should be Jack Daniels for when you just can't keep that promise to the grieving widow of your ex-partner. Or Jack Daniels because you'll never see the kids again. Not because he's not allowed to see them. They shot themselves. Has anybody ever seen Man on Fire with Denzel Washington?
Yeah.
There's a scene in that. He spends the first 20 minutes of that very depressed, and he just sits with his gun. He's an ex-hitman, and he's got a little bottle of Jack, and it's beautifully lit and pointed right towards the camera. And every night he takes his handgun, he cocks it really quickly so the bullet goes bing, 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 out. It lands on his hand. He looks at it, loads it back into the gun, and then keeps going. And he does this every night for about a week, and then on the last night he goes shrink, bing, 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 catches it, puts it in the gun, puts the gun to his temple, and pulls the trigger. But it doesn't go off. He checks the firing pin, it's fine. Checks the trigger, it's fine. Then he calls his friend, Christopher Walken, and says, "Have you ever heard a bullet in the chamber not fire?" And Christopher Walken's like, "Yeah, talking about a bad primer." And it turns out to be like this one little defect that's in like every 2 million bullets, and like it's it's almost impossible that this could happen. And right then I want the camera to pan to the bottle of Jack Daniels, and a sexy woman picks it up and looks at the camera and goes, "Jack Daniels, for when only a miracle will save you." I hate how social media keeps trying to tell other people where I am and what I'm doing. I never want people to know where I am and what I'm doing. Even Spotify's like, "Hey, do you want people to know what you're listening to right now?" And I'm like, "No, man. I spent yesterday morning crying to the Deep Impact soundtrack." I then spent 5 hours listening to a single Imogen Heap song. And this evening I'm thinking of listening to a band I don't even like, because my ex-girlfriend once told me that she likes them, so I can study the lyrics for clues. And now, just to one up Rebecca, I have depression, everyone. Depression's an interesting affliction. It's kind of like having gonorrhea, in that you wouldn't know that I've got it until I've ruined your life. Anybody here on antidepressants? Who's here on antidepressants?
Yay!
Yay! Bless you, whoever that is. All the rest of you, undiagnosed. That's cute. I hate it when people say, "I don't think you really need antidepressants. I think you just do it for the attention." And I always say, "Well, I thought I took antidepressants so I could fart more often and cum never." But you're right. I probably just do it for the mystique. Yeah, delayed ejaculation is a side effect of taking antidepressants. I discovered this particularly when I first started taking them. The only upside to this is that after years of trying to become a better feminist, I finally know what it's like to be a woman having to jack off some lazy, unappreciative piece of shit. I was once at a show like this, and there was a girl on stage, and she did a joke about being on Prozac, and I thought she was kind of cute, and she was funny as well. So after the show, I went up to her and I said, "Hey, you really on Prozac? Because I'm on sertraline." And she said, "Oh no, I was only joking." And I said, "Oh yeah, me too." We're both so funny. I'm just kidding, guys. She wasn't really that cute. The only funny thing is that this is bittersweet for me, because I'm actually starting to wean off the antidepressants. Basically because I just have no new material, guys. But I talked to a comedian friend who used to take antidepressants, and he said the thing about the delayed ejaculation is that if you go off the antidepressants, the opposite is true. And I believe his exact words were, "It will be harder to sneeze." And spring's coming. So I got that to look forward to. What's next? It's going great, don't you think? Skulls. Don't you think it's weird that we all have skulls? Like, I've got a skull, you all have skulls. There's nobody in the world. There's like, no, there's one. No, there isn't. They all have skulls. And like, it's there the whole time. Even though you're looking at me and I'm doing comedy, my skull's going, and you're going, and even you guys who don't think it's funny, are like, when you're having sex, they're like, Can you imagine like skulls going down on each other, just like, and the other one's like, if you're surprised, your skull goes. Your eyes are always your eyes, even when your eyelids are closed. So it means that even when you're asleep at night, your eyes are going. Unless you're dreaming, in which case they're going. What did I last year? Your penis, when you're having when you're having an orgasm and you have a condom on, it always thinks it's impregnating someone. Always. It's always like, this time, definitely! Step in, lads! Dive! You want to live forever? Do you guys think I should have kids? No, genuinely, like, do you think I should have children? I've been thinking about it a lot recently, now that I'm an uncle. I think I only just started feeling like an adult, that's the problem. I lost my virginity very late in the game. I won't tell you exactly when I lost it, but I will say it was when I was at an age which is older than you think I am now. Yeah, I'm a little bit older than I look, that's why I have the beard, because like, it makes me look older, but if I shave it off, I look like Henry VIII's only male heir to survive infancy. To the ripe old age of 15! I combat this with childbearing hips, and eyes that look like they've seen something terrible but can't remember it. I didn't get any sex education as a kid, that's my problem. My parents never wanted to talk about sex. My dad only talked to me about sex while driving. It happened about twice. The first time he was like, that video store over there, it sells pornography. If you wanted. No, I'd be happy to go and get that for you. When I was about 14, I was like, no! And then the second time, always driving, he was like, this is when I was 20, and he was like, this is the sequel, when I was 20, and he was like, I hope you're using a protractor, Steve. Just to make sure you're completely straight! He said, it's good, right? Yeah, we're gonna just leave it at that. No, he said, I hope you're using protection, Steve. And I was like, yeah, totally. Hadn't even gone on a date yet. Well, just know, the worst thing that could possibly happen would be if you got a girl pregnant.
No, that's terrible.
Thank you. Thanks, Dad. And then the car pulled over, and I was like, well, I'll take that on board, Dad. Thanks. And I said, thanks for the lift. And just as I was getting out, he grabbed my arm and went, seriously though, the worst thing that could possibly happen. Thanks, Dad. Talk again in 20 years, yeah? The only time I had a conversation with my mum about sex was when I was 11. I asked her a question about sperm. I said, is it possible to run out? While stocks last, ladies. While stocks last. But in the end, they ended up sending my sister in to talk to me and my brother about sex. They couldn't do it themselves, which was kind of mortifying, but at least she had information. You know what I mean? I remember asking her, I said, how many men have you slept with? And she said, less than the cast of Lord of the Rings, but more than the Fellowship. That was her analogy! My sister's a fucking badass. You guys have been awesome, thanks so much.